Hey egoists, it's your Viking on the pitch, Pixel Viking. I'm here to break down the defense mechanics in Rematch. Straight from the developers themselves. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, according to the article the devs wrote, Rematch's defense is all about teamwork. They wanted to make sure that the defensive mechanics were strong enough so that the players in possession of the ball were under pressure, and they needed to pass the ball around, making sure players didn't become ball hogs. Now, when it comes to defense, the first thing you probably think of is the slide tackles. Well, there's actually two types of tackles. There are slide tackling and standing tackles. First, let's go ahead and talk about that slide tackle. These are the iconic tackles of football. They have the longest reach but also the longest commitment. They are performed while sprinting, holding left bumper and pressing B to perform the slide tackle. If a slide tackle connects with the ball is pushed in the direction of the tackle. This means you have to be careful when using it. Don't tackle in the direction of an opponent, otherwise the ball will be pushed away towards them. Now let's talk about those standing tackles. Standing tackles are performed by pressing B when not sprinting. They have a shorter reach than the slide tackle, but also a shorter commitment. The standing tackles also push the ball in the direction of the tackle, and if they connect with an opponent in the possession, they will also briefly stun that opponent. Now that I've got that out of the way, I want to talk about how players in possession can enter the protective state by holding the left trigger, which allows them to perform dribbles and also allows them to avoid being stunned from standing tackles coming from nearby defenders. If a standing tackle connects with a player in the protective stance, the player is pushed back and loses control of the ball, but he does not stumble. This allows them to regain control of the ball if they react fast enough. Protective stance does not protect players against sliding tackles, however. Now let's talk about what happens when you press left trigger when you're not holding the ball. Holding left trigger while out of possession switches you into defensive mode. This creates a larger hitbox around the player, allowing you to automatically deflect shots that are nearby. If the ball is shot directly at the player or very close to them, the ball will be deflected forward, allowing the defender to push forward. If the ball is shot to the side, the ball will still go past the defender, but it will deviate instead of deflect, having less impact on the ball's trajectory. So defensive mode, therefore, is an essential tool when facing opponents with the ball in order to close down angles and protect your goal. Now, in defense mode, players can use dash by pressing A to perform a dynamic sidestep, which can be very useful to shadow an opponent's movement. The dash maintains the properties of the defensive mode, allowing players to block shots of opponents that are out of reach. It can be also very quickly canceled into a tackle or dive, giving these abilities even more reach. And finally, defenders have another tool that allows them to intercept balls that are too high for tackles or a dash, and too powerful to be volleyed. The dives. By pressing right bumper and pressing B, players can dive in the air and deflect balls that connect with their trajectory. The dynamics of the dive are different depending on whether the player is jogging, sprinting, or in a defensive mode, with different vertical and horizontal reaches for each. Choose your locomotion wisely to intercept balls that are in the air. And that wraps up the defense mechanics, courtesy of the game developers. If you'd like to read the article for yourself, I'll leave it in the description below. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for all the latest on Rematch. And remember, stay legendary, and I'll see you next time.